Hello wildflowers, and welcome back to the Rambling Rose. Last weekend, this little cottage witch rode her broomstick down to the wild, windswept beaches and lush, grassy meadows of Far East Gippsland. This is a wilderness region where the coast meets the country, and it's even quieter and more remote than my own enchanted alpine valley. The sea has always felt like a healing place to me, a place to clear my head and calm my racing thoughts. I went seeking mermaids and selkies, magic and inspiration, and that's exactly what I found. The ocean always brings back fond memories of my childhood, splashing about and building sand castles, gazing into rock pools, and imagining I can see sweet little rock sprites like Pearl Pinky and Sea Greenie, just like in my beloved fairy books by Pixie O'Harris. The first ever children's book that I wrote and illustrated when I was just a little girl was called The City Beneath the Sea, in which an adventurous girl is gifted the ability to breathe underwater and has remarkable adventures beneath the waves. And so I guess I've always been fascinated by the strangeness of the aquatic realm, and my imagination is easily carried away by legends of the lost cities of Lemuria or Atlantis. I've felt my thoughts really scattered of late, my ideas for Wild Faerie Magick all over the place, plagued by overthinking and anxiety, and I hoped that a seaside escape would help me focus and get clear on an outline for the book. It worked, and whilst I still have no idea how to find the time, at least I can picture it clearly. I even had an idea for a summer activity page where the reader observes a rock pool and sketches what they see. I feel a deep connection to the ocean. I think we all do, perhaps because there's something so primordial and mysterious about it. Looking out over such a vast expanse of water, depths unknown, one can't help but be in awe of our planet and wonder at our place in the cosmos. And I believe that when you offer your tears to the sea, she carries them away on the foamy waves, and in return, new dreams are formed on the returning tide. There were so many dragonflies at the beach too, as if to remind me that, even there by the wildest ocean, the fae folk are always near. Of course, watching their glittering wings catching the sunlight as they buzzed by delighted my inner child and sparked my imagination. So much so that Dad, my one-man camera crew, and I could have sworn we saw a dragon in the sand dunes on the way back. Returning to my charming little bed and breakfast on the last evening of my trip, I walked barefoot across the meadow to watch the shaggy sheep grazing happily under a full moon and marvel at the brilliant colours of the night sky as dusk fell across the landscape. Something about this full moon felt electric as I imagined dragonfire streaking the sky and felt the promise of new adventures in the air.
Is there a place with sun all year round and pina coladas with pretty faces and sand on the ground? I want to stop this ongoing train before I lose my mind and go insane.
The first morning back home was slow and gentle, integrating the emotions, inspirations and memories of my seaside escape. A little stretching on my yoga mat, catching up on what my garden fairies have been up to, some quiet meditation, and even a spot of cloud watching before heading upstairs to get creative. Before I began painting, I flipped through the Earth Spirit Oracle, looking for what I had written about the mermaid. Sitting in quiet contemplation, alone on her rock, she ponders love and longing, solitude and sacrifice. She is the embodiment of freedom, the sea wind in her hair and the salt water in her veins. And with that thought in mind, I set about painting the rockpool activity page for Wild Faerie Magick, choosing a background of stormy, cloudy blue that reminded me so much of my trip.
When we get there, we'll throw a big feast with pina coladas, hand in hand, not out of reach, higher. Yeah, we'll be lighter, happier and much brighter. Take the step, have no regret. I don't wanna sleep every night. I wanna light a spark in the dark. I don't wanna say I'm okay, living the same every day.
After my little seaside escape, I couldn't wait to get back into the studio and paint again. I get a little funny if I spend too much time away from my paints and brushes. It's a time outside of time for me, when I'm lost in the flow state of creativity, totally absorbed in the moment. All the other thoughts usually clamoring for my attention just disappear, and the hours fly by as I listen to beautiful music or fascinating podcasts. And in a way, that is a holiday in itself, for my overthinking brain at least. There has been so much going on for me of late in the real world. So much executive functioning, logistics, lists, tasks, phone calls, finances. And I truly prefer to be in fairyland just painting away, totally oblivious to all that. So it was really nice to take the time to work on this page. Only about 60 more illustrations to go, and I can send this magical book off to print.
Tell me what you need, and I'll listen. I'll listen. 'Cause I don't wanna wait every night. I wanna light a spark in the dark.
I so hope you've enjoyed this little seaside escape with me, and if you did and you'd like to support my channel, please like and subscribe, or head on over to my shop or Patreon to join in the fun with me and my kindred fairy spirits. May the mermaids bless you with inspiration and magic.